Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and today I'm reviewing Master of the Flying Guillotine. It's a Jimmy Wang Yu movie starring Jimmy Wang Yu. And this is an interesting film. I kind of watched these films in reverse order. This is the sequel to One Armed Boxer. And I watched this movie on Dish a long time ago. Back when Dish was kind of new. I think it's. I can't tell you how long ago I watched it, but I know it was on Dish Network, and it was a very memorable movie. Like I remembered it for it just left an impression on me, and there was kind of a story of why I bought this DVD. And that's because there was a particular scene in it. There's several memorable things about it, and I'll go over those. But I guess I should tell you the plot of The Flying Guillotine. Basically, in One Armed Boxer, this one-armed kung fu fighter defeats this rival school who runs a gang that runs opium, and they fly in a bunch of foreign martial artists to fight this good school, the school that Tian Long belongs to, and they just devastate this good school, and that's where Tian Long loses his arm in a fight, and he eventually recovers from that, and he's on a mission. He has a vendetta versus these foreign fighters in this gang that attacked his school, and anyways, he ends up defeating all the foreigners and the rival school and gang, and two of those fighters are from Tibet, and they're disciples of this assassin, the Master of the Flying Guillotine. I can't remember what the Flying Guillotine's guy's name is. Because I literally watched The Flying Guillotine. I was like, oh man, this is the sequel to One Armed Master. So then I got on Amazon and I watched One Armed Master on Amazon Prime without buying it. And so the names are kind of escaping me. But this guy right here is a blind assassin who uses the flying guillotine to kill people. And if you remember on Mythbusters, they actually tested the concept of the flying guillotine to see how practical it was. But anyways, there were several memorable things about it, and I'm going to talk about those things. One, the reason why I bought this DVD when I let's see, I don't look that sharp. Might just be my eyes, but there was a scene where he's trying to find a way to protect himself from the flying guillotine, and he sees this man chopping on bamboo with an axe, and this axe is just gnawing away at this bamboo, and he's like, oh, bamboo's really tough. And he uses that to dull the blades to the flying guillotine. And what's interesting about that is that a couple of days ago, I was watching Marvel and Marvels on the top 10 greatest weapons in history. And it was either number 8 or number 9 was the katana. And they did the demonstration with a hatchet where they tried to do an upwards diagonal cut on the bamboo. And it didn't cut the bamboo, and then they got the katana and it cut the bamboo really easily. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, that reminds me of the Flying Guillotine movie. I want to watch that. And they didn't have it on Amazon Prime as far as the streaming service, but they had the DVD on Amazon, so I bought it Prime, and they shipped it to me pretty quickly. And another very memorable thing is the fighter from India on this thing, because they have a martial arts tournament with fighters from all over the world. They have Thai boxers, Okinawan fighters, And there was this guy from India, and he was a yogi master or a yoga master. And for those of you who don't know, yoga is not a martial arts. But what's interesting, you can kind of see it right here. His arms extend, and they make this creaking noise. So they crick, 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 and his arms extend out. And that was something that stayed with me when I watched this as a kid. Then, like, I was pondering it. I was like, is there a connection between this yoga master from Flying Guillotine and the yoga master on Street Fighter? I can't remember his name. I should have looked it up. But if you remember on Sega Genesis, and I think there were some Game Boy games, Capcom, there was this fighter in the Street Fighter franchise, and he punches and his arms extend, and his legs extend also. And I was thinking, I wonder if they borrowed that from this movie, because they're both from India, they're both yoga masters, and in these kung fu movies, yoga masters can manipulate the bodies in certain ways. So I was like, I wonder if Street Fighter got that from this movie. This was, let's see, it was released in '73. And it says available for the first time in 25 years. And it says it's dazzling audiences of every age. I don't know if I'd call this a kid movie. It's gory for the time. It's not like Evil Dead gory, but you do have people getting decapitated and stuff. But there's some bad sides to this particular DVD, and what was happening with this DVD is that it would switch in and out from English with subtitles to Mandarin and subtitles. So, you'll be watching it for X amount of time in English, and it'll have subtitles, and then it will just, for whatever reason, not be dubbed, and it would be in Mandarin Chinese. I guess it could be Cantonese, but this is a Mandarin movie. And so it was weird, it's like you have the dubbed over, voice, and then like, the camera will switch, and then it'll be in Mandarin. So that was disappointing. Subtitles don't bother me too much, but I prefer not to have subtitles. And it was interesting in the English dub, when it also had subtitles, the subtitles wouldn't match the English dubbed voices. So, for example, when this movie, a character would say, "Yes, sir," instead of saying, "Yes, sir," on the subtitles, it would just say, "Yes." Or it might say, "Sir," but the subtitles will say "yes." So that was kind of a quality control issue that I didn't like. It's interesting. Jimmy Wang Yu, Flying Guillotine, and One Arm Boxer is kind of like a live-action anime. There was a lot of revenge. There was a lot of really weird things that they do that they claim as martial arts, but it's not real martial arts. And very showy, very flashy. And I love kung fu movies. I grew up watching Jackie Chan. I watched Bruce Lee as a kid. I was really into martial arts as a young kid. Martial arts was the cool stuff. And I practiced Taekwondo and stuff. So, been a fan of martial arts movies. If you want something that's a little bit more up to date, I probably should do a separate review, but I would say anything by Tony Jaa, or that features Tony Jaa, Ong Bak, the Protector. He's a Thai fighter, and his movies are very. I thought he was going to be the next Jackie Chan, but they're not. Jackie Chan's more of a comedian in his martial arts, and Tony Jaa is much more brutal, but he does all of his own stunts. So if you watch Ombak or The Protector, someone steals his elephant and he goes on a killing rampage to get his elephant back. So it's a pretty interesting movie. But those are more newer movies and more up to date. They're technically not kung fu movies, but and then Raid. Raid is a very good movie as well, and I think it's based in Thailand or something. But this is an old school 1973 vintage, and you can get it. It has English and Spanish subtitles. Its language options are English, Mandarin. So I guess it was Mandarin, not Cantonese, and I really enjoyed it. If you can get it, download, like, if you could download it, it might be a better quality than this DVD. Like I said, it switches from, Mandarin to English while you're watching the film, and that's disappointing. But I enjoyed watching it, and so I thought I'd do my second movie review. So that's it. I'm a Satsu 5, and I'm out.